Hey, welcome to my channel. Welcome to another Saturday Sayings. So, this is where we pick something out of the little box and we talk about it. I say every week, please let it be something I can talk about. Listen, when I put these sayings in here, I didn't consider if they were like good talking points or not. So, I am at their mercy. I'm opening it up. I want to show you. I'm picking one out. I'm not looking. Couldn't see through it anyway. Oh, there we go. Couldn't see through it anyway if I tried. But let me fortify myself. I get nervous when I open this little paper. Well, which side is it on? Oh, this is a good one. If you're tired of starting over, stop giving up. Ooh. The ruler on the hand. It's the truth. If you're starting over, and you're starting over, and you're starting over, you're just dog paddling. You jump in the pool. To get back to the side of that pool, you got to take some strokes. I mean, you got to put some strokes in there. You can't just stand. Well, I guess you can't. I have dog paddled my way over, but you're going to work yourself to damn death dog paddling to get to the side of that pool. When, if you just took some good old strokes at it, you'd get there quicker and you wouldn't be near as tired. So, boy, could that be any more relevant to the weight loss situation? If you're just putting in half the work, you're going to get half the results. So when you start getting half the results, you're going to get what? Discouraged. What happens a lot of times when we get discouraged? I know what happens with me. Give up. What happens sometimes if you get off track? Maybe you have a big binge or something. You start saying, oh, well, I'll just throw in the whole towel. Then you're starting over again. Then guess what happens when you start over again? This is what happens to me. Every time I have started over because of whether I got off track on my own or like sometimes it just happens. It really does. I'm trying to think of an example of how it just happens when sometimes you just get off track. I mean, I know we do what we do, and we're grown people, and we have control over what we do, but sometimes, I don't know, I'm trying to think. You know, maybe something will come to me. You know that sometimes it happens, but sometimes we cause it to happen. And so then when we have to start over, for me, what I was trying to say, when I have to start over, I have a harder time getting going, starting over than I did the very first day that I started my Weight Watchers journey. I seem to have done it a lot easier than when I have started over all these times through these 4 years. And there have been many reasons why I've had to start over. I mean, sometimes I just quit. Sometimes I have said, because sometimes my medicine, and I have adjusted it over the years to where I think, I don't know where's any the woods up there. I can't reach it. Let me reach it. Knock on wood, I've got it adjusted to where my body's in a good place, swelling wise. My lymphedema is controlled. The pain is controlled, but the swelling is controlled because one of my drugs, it really makes you swell, and I've got it to a place now to where I can, it's not bothering me. So some of those times when the medicines have affected me, I would just say, you know what? You pick between, do you want your pain to stop or do you want the swelling to stop so you can lose weight? Sometimes it's a hard choice. Pain will exhaust you. Pain will make you do things. Pain will make you irritable. Y'all know there's a lot of y'all out there in chronic pain. You know what I'm talking about. So I've gone off track for that. I guess that's an example. Maybe that's an example. I don't think that was my doing. That just happened to be one of those things that I couldn't get it fixed, and I was discouraged, and I gave up. So that, while it was my choice to give up, I don't think getting wore down and getting so discouraged that you just kind of throw in the towel, I don't think that's the same thing as, oh, I ate one big cheat meal. Oh, screw it, I'll just eat whatever I want from now on, because why bother with it? I'll just continue and I'll start back Monday. No, start back the next morning. I don't care what day it is. Start back the next morning. But there's times, and then there's times when you're not losing weight fast, like me. If I completely give up every time I wasn't losing weight fast enough, I would not be sitting here in front of you today. I would not be on no YouTube channel still trying. I would be sitting somewhere over in my chair, fatter than I was when I started out. That is the honest truth. You think about what you have to lose when you give up. What does this say, though? What does this say? Let me unfold it again. If you're tired of starting over, stop giving up. I think there's a giving up and a giving up. I think you give up on a monthly or weekly, sometimes a daily basis. It just depends. You're like, I give up. And you're like, okay, I messed up. I'll start back over. There's that giving up. And then there's, okay, I'm giving up and I'm done with it and I'm not going to try anymore. Then there's that giving up. We don't want to get to that point of giving up, because then it really is hard for you to get back on track, because you let it go so long and you eat so bad and so much and all the good foods. Y'all know what I'm talking about, them good foods, them little Debbie cakes. Them full-on hot dogs all the way. Y'all go back to eating all that all you want, and then it's hard to go cold turkey on that stuff again. Which, if you're just like a casual giving up, like throwing in the towel, well, why bother? But then you like, okay, well, I'll get back on it Monday. But if you're tired of that, stop doing that. Stop letting your little episodes of, okay, well, I ate bad, therefore I'm not going to try anymore. Stop doing that. Eat bad and get right back on your wagon the next day. I don't care what wagon you're driving in. I don't care. I don't care if it's Nutrisystem. I don't care if it's low carb. I don't care if it's keto. I don't care if it's calorie counting. I don't care if it's Weight Watchers. I don't care if it's Jenny Craig. I don't care if it's coming out of a book and you're following a book. I don't care. We're all on the same journey. Everybody got their wagon. There's all these roads. And all these roads, you know how when you're on them big old interstates and then it funnels down to 2 lanes, whew, that's rough. But that's what we all got our little wagons. Mine's a red one. I don't know what color yours is. Mine's a bright, shiny red one. I'm in my big old shiny red wagon. And all y'all around me, y'all in y'all's wagons. And guess what? We all trying to get to that one little road. And at the end of that road is the pot of gold. What's in that pot of gold? It ain't money. It's a goal of weight loss. Whatever your goal is. Your goal don't have to be what the government's little charts say it has to be. Your goal has to be what you want it to be. Right now, my goal is probably 30 pounds away from what those little charts say I should be. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, if I can get down to 175, I'll be happy as a pig in mud. I'm going to tell you what. Now, when I get to 175, I might say, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to get on down to even less. But if I do get to 175, I feel like that is a number. And I have to have a number to shoot for. I mean, we say don't rely on the scale But you do have to have something to gauge. Well, take your measurements, of course, but you got to have something to gauge. If we didn't have, well, how many pounds did you lose? If we weren't proud of the pounds we lose, then we wouldn't be looking at the scales. But we do look at the scales. I personally have to look at the scales because there's a number my doctor wants, and I got to give him that number. That's how I'm sorry, that's how they go. So that's how I got to go. And the scales do get to me when I get on the scales. Not to the point to where I go into a deep dark depression, excessive misery. Y'all ever watch Hee Haw? Gloom, despair, and agony on me. Deep dark depression, excessive misery. If it weren't for bad luck, I'd have no luck at all. Gloom, despair, and agony on me. Then there's a verse to it. It's a verse my papa taught me. You want to hear it? Somebody out there is cringing at my vocal abilities. So on the Hee Haw, they sing a verse. Every time it's a different verse. And then they turn around and then they start singing gloom. Said you was going out for hunting a possum. Said you'd be back when you caught one. Now you've been gone about 10 years, my darling. I'm beginning to wonder if something went wrong. That's a different song. That's where are you tonight? Why did you leave me here all alone? I searched the world over and thought I found true love. You met another and you was gone. You got a 2 for 1. I had gloom, despair, and my verse all conglomerated in a big old mess. You got a 2 for. Why do you embarrass yourself like that on camera? Because I ain't embarrassed. That's why. Where were we? Where were we indeed? I don't even remember. We was talking about being gloomy. I don't know. I should stop the film and see where we was at. I know we was talking about quitting. Different ways of quitting, how the scale does make you kind of gloomy sometimes. The scales, it'll make me gloomy sometimes, not to the point to where I'm just like down in the dumps and I look at it and I'm just like, oh my God. And then I'm, having to take pills the rest of the week to recuperate from looking at that number on the scale. I don't get that bad, but it's still like right now, I'm eating all my calories, all my power fuels and smart carbs, the proteins and the smart carbs that Nutrisystem tells me to eat. It is an experiment. I have stalled. It's an experiment to see, okay, should I be eating more? Well, I'm going to tell you what. I didn't jump on the scales yesterday, but I jumped on them scales this morning, and I don't like that number. There is a big difference between what I weighed for y'all Thursday and what I weighed this morning. A big difference, and I don't like it. It scares me. It scares me to the point to where I might stop this experiment. I'm going to check it again tomorrow morning, and if it's like higher tomorrow morning than it was this morning, I'm quitting. I'm going back to counting, doing my own thing, keeping how much I ate down. Y'all, listen, if y'all been watching my what I eat videos, you'll see it's a lot of food. It's a lot of food. Well, here, that's a good example. I could see that what I'm doing. I'm like, oh, well, that's what Nutrisystem tells me to do. I'm just going to quit. I can't do this, so I'm going to quit. It's not working, so I'm going to quit, which I did say in the beginning. As long as Nutrisystem is working, I'll keep doing Nutrisystem. When it quits working, then I'm going to quit working. I'm going to quit doing it because it's not cheap. We're getting 50% off, but it's still not cheap. But I'm not quitting trying to lose weight. I'll just go to the next thing that I think will work, that has worked for me in the past, whatever that may be, come the time. It's not Nutrisystem didn't work, so let me just quit. I'm going to go on back. No. That's what we can't do. But here's the thing, like that paper said, if you're tired of starting over, stop giving up. Don't give up just because you had a bad meal. You can give up from Saturday to Monday and just say, I'm going to eat whatever I want on Sunday. Well, no, you ain't. You put that food out of your mouth, you're not going to do it. That's not how you win at this game. You don't give up. That's kind of like, that's more like a giving in. You don't give in. That you didn't really give up, but you kind of give up till Monday. But that's giving in and saying, oh, well, whatever. We'll just start it back over. Well, stop starting it back over. Just pick yourself up. I don't think recovering from a slip up is giving up and starting over. I think that's just picking yourself up and moving on. That's just, to me, that's a different situation. Giving up is when you're not seeing the results you want to see. You have been eating all the foods for however long. When you stop trying to lose weight and then you got off track and you got out of that wagon and pushed that wagon down the hill. You hear me? You're not trying to get down there to get that wagon. You still up here having all the fun. Well, guess what? One of these days, you got to climb down that hill and drag that wagon all the way back to the top. If you're tired of doing that, then control your mind. Then let your mind control your body and your actions of what you eat. And we all know losing weight comes down to what you eat. Yep, exercise plays a part in it. But the main line, like I've heard them say, you can't out-exercise a bad diet. You can't do it. A bad diet as in a diet of all the crappy food, all the high-calorie food. If you're on Weight Watchers, you're counting points. All the high-point food. If you're on low-carb, all the high-carb food. Because these are things that are outside the parameters of the plan you are following. Weight Watchers, they might not be a food that's too high-carb for you because you're not watching your carbs. That's not what you're doing. You're watching your points. Calorie people, they might not be anything off the table for you because you're just counting your calories. Maybe your calories that day, you want to have a Snicker bar and you can fit in your calories and you eat it. That's not outside the parameters of your thing. But I wouldn't advise having Snicker bars because they're not nutritious. I know there's a motto about Snickers. Sometimes a Snicker bar does hit the spot. But if you're having them too frequently, I wouldn't suggest that. I'm just saying, if you do have one, that's not outside your parameters. I'm speaking of staying inside the parameters of what you're trying to do. The parameters of what I have are Nutrisystem meal, Power Fuels, Smart Carbs, extras, and free foods. That's what I count. That comes down to calories. They give you a calorie that they say you should stay in that range right there. And I say stay in that range. I was doing fine staying in my range even though I wasn't losing weight. That ain't what they say though. They say, this is your size, this is your activity level, you're a woman, you're a man, this is how many calories you should have and still lose weight. So what I go by when I do my menu is here's my Nutrisystem meal, this is how many Power Fuels I get, this is how many Smart Carbs I get, and then I count if I use extras or not. That's my parameters. So a Snicker bar, I think I could count a Snicker bar, but I might not get to eat the rest of the day. Don't nobody want that. I do like to eat all day. I'll give you that. But not like big gobs of food. So if you're tired of starting over, I think I got off on some stupid tangent. That probably didn't make not one lick of sense. I apologize. Listen, it's more embarrassing to not make no sense when you're trying to make a point than it is to sing when you can't sing. That's just where I'm coming from. If you are tired of starting over, stop giving up. keep the course. Just keep plugging at it. Keep your nose to the grindstone, like they say. Just keep your head down. Do the work. Do the work. If you want the results, you got to do the work. I'm going to add you another saying in here. If you want the results, you got to do the work. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying my dead level best to do the work that I need to do to lose this weight. And what works, what don't work, for me it seems to change. I'll tell you that. If what you're doing don't work, then change course. Get in a different wagon. Listen, go to the store, find you a different wagon. Maybe you got the wrong color wagon. Maybe the wagon ain't the right size for you. Maybe it's built different. Find a wagon that works for you. You ain't got to stay on the same plan the rest of your daggum life if that ain't working for you. Ain't nobody telling you, because and I'm going to use Weight Watchers as an example because I've been on Weight Watchers, so I can talk about Weight Watchers. I'm not throwing them under the bus, and I'm not throwing anybody under the bus who's doing it. What I'm telling you is, let's say you're on Weight Watchers, and Weight Watchers haven't been working for you for a while. There ain't no law that says you got to stay on Weight Watchers the rest of your life if it ain't working. You don't owe nobody no explanation for why you do what you do. In other situations in your life, maybe so. I'm talking about on your weight loss journey. This is strictly your weight loss journey. You don't owe me no explanation, and I don't owe you no explanation. And that's just as blunt as I can put it. I don't need to tell you why I eat what I eat. You don't have to tell me why you eat what you eat. So if what you're doing ain't working, then try something else. Lord have mercy, I have tried all kind of stuff. I tried some stuff, not as much before April because I really didn't care. Until my health went really kaplooey. I really didn't care about my size. Y'all know that. I don't care what people think when they see me and they see a big fat woman. I don't care what they think. I got some fingers down here for I won't show them on the screen, but I got some they can have. I don't do it, but in my mind I do. I just say, So when something has stopped working for whatever reason, I'll just say, well, I'm going to try something else. Well, that'll work for a little while, and if it quits working, well, I'm going to try something else. I don't care. It's my life, and if that's what I want to do, that's what I'm going to do. So it's your life. If you've been on something, you have no obligation to anyone to continue to stay on it just because you think that's the right thing. Let me point to that right there. I'm going to try to remember it. I said it one day on a video back last year, and when I said it, I was like, oh, I like that. I'm going to put that on the side. Not that I'm some great philosopher or nothing, but when I said it, it really struck a chord. Don't do what's wrong for you because it's right for someone else. There you go. If it's wrong for you, it don't matter if it's right for Sally Joe down the street. Let Sally Joe worry about Sally Joe, and you worry about you. So if what you're doing is causing you to give up and making you have to start over 100 times, maybe that's not the plan for you. If eating wrong, this is not having to do with your plan. This is any plan you're on. If eating wrong, and by wrong I mean what's not in the parameters of your plan, if eating wrong every single weekend causes you to give up and say like, oh, I'm going to start back over on Monday, that is giving up because you're doing it every single week, every single weekend, and you know what's going to happen. You know what the outcome is going to be. That's giving up. That's not hitting it hard. That is not going after your goal the best way you know how. That is like, okay, well, it's the weekend, so I think I deserve XYZ. My family has all this, and I'm going to join in. That's not going to get you where you need to go. You need to keep your head down and do the work. That way, come Monday, you won't say, oh, and then it'd be hard, and you try and struggle all week long to dog paddle till Friday. Come Saturday and Sunday, you're just out there just doing backflips and twirling off that diving board, having a good old time. Then come Monday, boy, you dog paddling again. To me, that's giving up because you've given up on the bigger picture of the plan. And if you're tired of starting Monday in a dog paddle, don't have the big party on the weekends. Don't hoop and holler and have all that good time on the weekends. Continue on to give yourself a treat. You know, you don't have to be perfect in your eating. Obviously, you have to keep living. That's my coffee. I have to live. While I'm trying to lose this weight, I still have to have some kind of life. I'm not just going to go out in the yard and graze on grass. I'm just not going to do it. Knees and all, I'm not going to go on a restrictive diet to where all I eat is lettuce every damn day to get to my goal. I've got to have a life in between, but I don't have to have this big party of a life. I can still squeeze in things to kind of get us through. Listen, we ain't eat out we're on week 8. We ain't eat out. I told David when we get to 20 pounds, we going to eat out. Well, if I don't ever get to 20 pounds, we going to go crazy. We probably going to eat out for then. Maybe this weekend. No, I don't think so. Poor David. He's doing this with me, and he wants to lose 20 pounds. He just got that little man belly. That's all. Because he got little toothpick legs. He got broad shoulders, but they're not fat shoulders. That's just how he's built. He's built broad here and then down. But he just got that little man belly. That's all. He just want to lose that little man belly. He said maybe 20 pounds. And then he's halfway there. So he could do that on his own. He don't have to do Nutrisystem with me. And he said no, he didn't want me cooking food for him and being tempted. He would just do it with me. So he's making a sacrifice. But what was I saying? Oh, he's really missing some things. So we might give in before I hit 20 pounds, especially if it's going to start going slow now. But what I'm saying is my coffee. I'm not giving up my coffee. I'm not counting my coffee. My coffee is my holdout. My coffee, and of all things, almond milk. A cup of almond milk only counts as an extra because it's like 30 calories. I don't even count it. When I get a dry mouth in the evenings, especially sometimes when I'm over there cooking supper, I don't film it. I ain't filming every time I drink some almond milk. Y'all can just know that I do. And if I make my cold brew coffee, I put almond milk in it and some of those sugar-free syrups, you know. Well, I'm not counting that. So that's the only 2 things in my world of eating that I'm not counting. I think I'm doing pretty good. Now, if what I wasn't counting was a cheeseburger every week, then I think that would be the wrong thing to do. Because then that's going to set me off into wanting the French fries and the milkshake, you know, that goes with it. All those things. I think if you have a holdout, and I think everybody could have a holdout. I don't care what plan you're on. I think you could have a holdout and still be successful. There's many reasons you don't lose weight fast, and that don't necessarily mean it's coffee. You'll never convince me, because from day one, and I was losing it fast back then, it was coming off really good. And then I went on vacation, I think is what it was, and I got off track, and I have never really fully regained. I lost like 30, then I got off track, and so I've lost that other 30 something since then. But there's all kind of reasons that I think I've not lost it, and I do, it's not an excuse. I do think one of them is medications, because there's one that if it causes a continual weight gain, then you're constantly, you're trying to, like, if we're talking about being in the water, if you're at the ocean, you're constantly crashing into that wave, and you can go out far, but there's going to be a wave that comes and knocks you back up to the shore. So I think there's a lot of us out there that constantly fight a medication. If that medication is constantly making you hold on to your weight, you are constantly trying to outrun it, and sometimes it just doesn't work. And I've been on this medication for years. It's not like I just started it and it just started causing the weight gain. I've been on it for years, and probably a lot of that weight that I had before was because of that. But I'm fighting it now, and I'm not giving up. Let's roll back around to the not giving up. So I don't think my coffee, which is my enjoyment in life is several cups of coffee a day. I have whittled it down to a mixture of half and half and fat-free half and half. I don't use sugar. I don't use sweetened creamers. That's all I use. And so I don't think that coffee made me fat. Back then, whew, a spoon could stand up in my cup with all the sugar that was in it. I ain't kidding. I liked a little bit of coffee with my sugar. And I weaned myself down to just black coffee with cream in it. I just got down to the point I've tried to do like skim milk and almond milk and fat-free half and half, and I just can't get used to that mouthfeel. I guess I could if I wanted to, but I don't want to, because this is one thing, this is a holdout of mine. It's going to be a holdout of mine. I've said it 1,000 times before. I'm not going to be an 80-year-old woman measuring coffee creamer. Not going to do it. If I'm not going to do it when I'm 80, I'm not going to do it when I'm 59. It just ain't going to happen. So that's where I stand on my coffee, and I'm not budging. Because like I said, even though we're on a weight loss journey, we're still going to have some sort of quality enjoyment of life while we're on that road. It's not just but we can't get to the point to where it causes us to give up and then we have to restart. Now, that coffee don't cause me to give up. That coffee is not even in the picture. That coffee don't have nothing to do if I ever give up. It ain't because, oh my God, I drank too many cups of coffee today, I better give up. Throw it in the towel. No. But there's some things that maybe causes you to do that, so I want you to stay away from them. That comes up a lot of times when we talk, is if you have trouble eating it, don't bring it in the house. Don't go out and get it. If you have trouble eating out, don't go out. I ain't been out in 2 months, and I'm still sitting here talking to you. I survived. If you do go out, then pick a healthier choice. You don't have to eat the biggest, most delicious thing on the menu. Maybe once in a while you can have that treat meal, but you got to just keep going. Don't jump off and get all out of kilter because of it. You gotta know how far you can go with it. You gotta know yourself. If you know, like I know, that a box of Little Debbie's in this house, and I don't care if I like Little Debbie. Never met one I didn't like. But I like all them generic and other name brand snack cakes. If it's a snack cake, I am on it. Let me tell you. I can't bring a snack cake in this house and expect it to sit there uneaten. Because it's not going to happen. I'm going to eat it, and I'm going to eat them until they're gone. You bring a box in here, chances are if I eat one and say, well, I'll just eat another one next weekend, they're going to be gone before dark. I ain't lying. There ain't no sense sit here and lie about it. That's my downfall is snack cakes. So if those cause you to you fill in the blank, whatever your trigger food is, if those trigger foods cause you to get off track and make you start over every single week, then stop buying them. If other members of your house eat them, make them hide them. Make them put them in their room. Make them stick them out of the bed and don't tell you where they are, and don't go looking for them. Don't go acting like it's Christmas and you trying to find your present. There's ways we control ourselves. We grown people, and we control ourselves, and we got to keep that mindset of I am in control of my body. I am in control of what I put in my mouth. Ain't nobody standing there shoving that in my mouth. I'm doing it myself. So if you don't want to keep starting over, stop giving up. Stop giving up. If the scale ain't moving, then figure out something that's going to make it move. But don't give up. Keep trying. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I think I'm better at not giving up than I am actually losing weight, because I don't give up. I just keep trying. Whatever the outcome is, whatever is thrown at me, I just keep trying. I know if I don't, I'm going to gain all my weight back. And I was pushing the door of 400. I will go over 400 because every time you lose weight, when you stop and you gain it, you gain back what you lost and some more to it. So I can't go there. I just can't go there. I would be, if I ever got back to 400 pounds, I would be bedridden because my knees barely hold me up now. They will not hold me up with another 70, 75, 80, 90 pounds on it. 90 pounds? Yeah, no, well, what I'm up to today is not 90 pounds. It was 90 pounds a couple weeks ago. No. Is that right? Oh, that's what I'm thinking. From 400, I'm like, I ain't lost 90 pounds. I'm talking about if I had reached 400. My knees could not take another 90 pounds. My knees can't hardly take another 9 pounds. So, anyway, I'll tell you, if I made sense, then good deal. If I didn't, I'm sorry for taking up your Saturday. But let me read it to you again. We're going to hush. If you're tired of starting over, stop giving up. Hold on, I got a tickle going on. I got all the way to the end before I had to quit. I got that laugh. Listen, people have told me if I cackle like a hen. If I do, I do. What can I say? So, anyway, quit giving up. Quit giving up and having to start over. Quit dog paddling. Put some strokes in on it. Get through that water quicker. Easier. Maybe not quicker, but easier. It's easier to push back like that than it is to do this. So just remember that. No dog paddling. Broad stroke. So that's all the muttering and rambling I'm going to do today. So love you, and I'll see you on my next video.